Well, it's safe to say that Superstar Monday has not disappointed. Welcome back to the World Cup recap, day 12 now of the tournament. We said it, this day was going to be all about the superstars, and once again, they have all come to deliver. With how things are going, I can't even imagine what the Golden Boot charts are going to look like by the end of this tournament, let alone the race for things like the Golden Ball. It's absolutely insane right now. I don't think I've seen a start to this tournament where all of these superstars are just one-upping each other, playing out of their minds so far. To that, we start things off with Argentina against Austria. Lionel Messi coming off of a hat-trick in his last game against Algeria, the first in his World Cup career, and that put him level with Miroslav Klose as the all-time World Cup goal scorer. Meaning all he needed was one shot, one chance to make history. And from the get-go, it seemed like we were going to get just that opportunity with Argentina drawing a penalty early on. Now, I will say this was maybe another controversial penalty call here. I can obviously see why this was given, but at the same time, if I was Austria, I definitely feel a little bit hard done by there. But Lautaro Martinez gets taken down. He earns that penalty, and Lionel Messi steps up to make history. Now, as he was stepping up, as anticipated as I was for this, at the same time, I did feel kind of let down because obviously it's a great moment for him to make this history, but doing it in a penalty always takes it back a little bit. But luckily, the football gods agreed with that statement as Lionel Messi, out of all times, completely scuffed that penalty wide. I mean, that was honestly one of the worst penalties I've ever seen from him, to be honest. He's had a couple of bad misses, obviously. He's generally not the best penalty taker, although he did miss many at the World Cup in Qatar. But this one just completely on him. Messi denied, it remains 0-0. But at the same time, you knew that he wasn't done there. It may not seem like it on the surface, but you know deep down Messi was raging at missing that chance, and he wanted another one. And just before the first half, he had that opportunity. Facundo Medina on the left-hand side playing a ball in. Thiago Almada with just an absolutely incredible layoff, knowing that the Magic Man's behind him, and he did not miss. The history man does it this time. 17 goals at the World Cup. That is just absolutely insane, man. Lionel Messi just continuing to defy the odds. And again, that being the goal to overtake Miroslav Klose sits so much better than what would have been a penalty. But regardless, Argentina up 1-0. Messi with his fourth goal of the tournament. He retakes the lead as well for the Golden Boot. And he obviously was not done there, as later in this one, he picks up the miss from Julian Alvarez and he picks his spot perfectly. Just a great effort from him again, just knowing when to pick that spot, getting that shot, missing it, still getting it back, still going for it. Just incredible stuff. Again, this guy turns 39 years old in a few days. And to think that he's still playing at this high level, he has 5 goals now at the World Cup. I mean, what more can you say about this man? He is absolutely defying age at this tournament, man. As Argentina get off to a great start in this World Cup, 2 wins, 6 points, and 5 goals scored by the main man himself. Overall, once again, this was an impressive performance by Argentina. I felt like all around this was a better performance than what they had against Algeria, especially against an Austria team that I rate very, very highly. Their style just was no match for this Argentina team. Again, thanks to the likes of Lionel Scaloni, were very well prepared for their kind of style. And while Austria had a few moments here and there to try and get something done, it really wasn't that effective. Regardless, Austria still find themselves in a decent position. Obviously, that last game against Algeria is going to be massive for them. And again, for Argentina, I wasn't too high on this team coming into the tournament just for the fact that who knows what kind of level Lionel Messi will be at. Wherever he is, pretty much dictates where this team is and where this team's chances are for this tournament. Clearly, he's playing at as high of a level as he's pretty much been for this Argentina team. And now Argentina looks like, again, a serious contender for the tournament. Also, I know I said earlier that I'm kind of glad that he missed the penalty, but now seeing how the game unfolded, I kind of wish he did score that penalty. Just for the fact that he would have had back-to-back hat-tricks at the World Cup, something that's only ever been done twice before. It hasn't been done since Gerd Muller in 1970. And at this point, you just have to wonder, how many goals is Lionel Messi going to end up in this World Cup? He's got 5 in 2 games. Who knows what he's going to have next? And maybe the more important question is, when are we going to see another Argentina player score that isn't Lionel Messi? I mean, it's just incredible to see, man. Here's me thinking that Lionel Messi made his last big memories in football in 2022. 4 years later, I honestly didn't think he would be here for this tournament. After him finally winning the World Cup, I thought, that's that. He's probably going to call it with the national team, and he has every right to do so. But for him to still be at this level, this committed, Like, he's playing like he's never won this thing before. Like, it's insane. I know I'm switching sports here, but his performance so far at this World Cup is giving me some serious Rory McIlroy vibes at the Masters. It's almost like him winning finally put all that pressure off his back, and now he's finally able to head into this tournament and just play freely without stress, at least on-field stress, of everyone being on his back, the media, the fans, of finally delivering for his country. But now he's playing. He's figured things out. If anything, I think there's parts of his game that, even as he's aging, is just getting better. His mind and vision, how he just sees those pockets of space and knowing what times to attack and stuff, it's just amazing. I mean, that first goal is just a perfect example. He's right in the middle, just drifting. He sees everything that's going on. He sees everything that's about to happen, drifts into that space. Austria pretty much just lose him, and boom, comes right in. Almada makes the right play, leaving it to him, and just like that, one touch in, record is his. It's honestly just phenomenal, man. And again, whether you are a big fan of his or you're a fan of another player, regardless of what it is, you cannot take this away, man. You cannot take what he's doing away from him, man. It is insane. We will never have another Lionel Messi, no matter how great all these coming up players are, and we do need to appreciate them, because again, I know the standard is so high because of what this man has done, but at the same time, we still got to appreciate these players for what they are and them carving out their own paths and their own legacies. But at the end of the day, this man at 39 years old is still one of the greatest players in the world. How insane is that, man? I mean, I can't wait to see what he does throughout the rest of this tournament, where Argentina goes throughout the rest of this tournament, because I don't know many teams in the world without Lionel Messi's playing. I don't know how many teams can be able to keep up with them. And speaking of that, we got to switch gears now to the next game of the tournament, France against Iraq. Now, as I mentioned before, players trying to chase that mark, trying to carve out their own paths and legacies, one of them obviously being Kylian Mbappe. Probably watched that Lionel Messi game from earlier and was motivated. He got a brace, obviously, in his last game against Senegal. An absolutely brilliant performance from him, especially in that second half. But this time, the expectation for Mbappe was probably for him to be a little bit more complete, play more of a 90-minute game rather than a 45-minute game. And that's pretty much what he did. Right from the jump, gets a chance from the outside on his left foot, and slots it in. Again, it's like, what can't this man do? He is absolutely inevitable. On his 100th cap, he puts France ahead 1-0. As Iraq just looked completely all over the place. They ended up making a change, actually, in the 26th minute because things were just not going well. They had a little bit of momentum after that, but still, it was all France in the first half. They led just by 1-0, though. And then Mother Nature intervened. For the first time in this tournament, we had a game be delayed for over 2 hours because of a storm. And this was one of my big worries heading into this tournament, right? We saw similar instances of this in, I think, tournaments like the Copa America and the Club World Cup in the last 2 years. If these stadiums, the ones with the open tops, no roofs, should anything happen like this, games will be stopped and things are just going to get really messy. I'm honestly shocked that it took this long for us to finally have a bit of a rain-soaked, stormy game, but it finally happened as, again, a 2-hour lightning delay. I mean, oh my goodness. First of all, I do feel for those who went to the stadium to watch that game, because fair play if you actually stayed for the whole game and got wet while doing so, because that's commitment, man. And two, I also fear for this similar kind of scenario to happen in these next round of group games. Especially the third round of group games, as everyone knows, is done in a specific way, where the 2 games of that group start at the same time to avoid any conflictions and remember the incident of 1982 in Seville. But with this World Cup, especially again with the way the lightning delays are, with 30 minutes until things can get back and then a 15-minute warm-up and just dragging it, man. But in this case, it seemed to not really affect France too much. They came into that second half basically a new replenished team, and they came out firing straight away. With Kylian Mbappe adding a second goal to his talent, Ousmane Dembele with that Luis Enrique PSG type of press, Ahmed Fadil making a huge mistake, and France capitalized. They take a 2-0 lead. And they don't stop there, obviously. Later on, Ousmane Dembele gets on the score sheet this time, with that actually being his first goal in an international tournament for France. That is just insane. He's gone scoreless now in 2 World Cups and 2 Euros. He finally gets on the board now. Great stuff from him. And Michael Olise as well. 2 assists in this one. That French attack is just loaded, man. Those 3, especially if Ousmane can get to that level as well, are just going to be absolutely incredible, man. I don't know many defenses that can be able to contain all of those guys. Elise, again, he's just been such a great wrinkle to this French attack. And what they've lost in creativity with guys like Antoine Griezmann over the years, Elise has really filled in that regard. And even more so, he almost had that crazy chip goal just after Mbappe scored. That would have been an insane one. Even he had great footwork as well. Tried to set up Ousmane for another chance as well. Again, those three just working off each other, playing off each other. So good, man. As again, France already look in fine form at this World Cup. The attack is firing in all cylinders, and that's pretty much all you can ask for. Well, Iraq, once again, there's really not much they can do, to be honest. Fair play to them for, I guess, not letting this game get completely out of control, but at the same time, they also were responsible for a couple of the French goals, mainly the ones in the second half. Even that third goal came off of a giveaway, which I think was more credit to France for them actually winning the ball back than, to be honest, it is an Iraq mistake. But yeah, so far with France, no complaints from them. Even in a tough group like this, they've still managed to look really good. And obviously this sets up a blockbuster third game to decide who takes the group. And speaking of that, let's talk about the team that they will beat in their third game, that being Norway, as they took on Senegal. For the first time in this tournament, I actually had to double box this. I had this game, obviously, and the France-Iraq game in the second half as well. But I definitely wanted to pay more attention to this one because this was a crucial game for both sides. With Senegal coming off a 3-1 loss against France, Norway coming off a 4-1 win against Iraq, this game would be crucial to decide who would probably be second and third in that group. And Norway, once again, were just on fire. With Marcus Holmgren Pedersen, a guy who didn't even start the game, came off for an injured Julian Ryerson. He came on and got Norway started with a 1-0 lead. And Senegal, once again, that defense just really struggling. Koulibaly giving it away cheaply. This goal was obviously really crucial for Norway, not just because obviously it put them up 1-0, but heading into that second half, it opened things up for Erling Haaland, who wasted no time. 3 minutes into the second half, gets his opportunity and absolutely smashed it. I said this already about Mbappe, but with Erling Haaland, it's the same thing. This guy being 6'5", running in transition the way he does, I mean, he is just incredible. It was 2-0 Norway, only for a few minutes though, because Ismaila Sarr against the run got Senegal back in it. A crucial goal for them because it honestly felt like the wheels were about to just fall off with this team. But that goal, again, definitely got things back for Senegal, kept them in this one. Again, only for a few minutes because, again, Erling Haaland. And that finish that he had as well. I don't know any other player in world football that could pull that off. That is just insane, man. When I talk about the best strikers in the world, right, there's obviously him and Harry Kane. I always say that Harry Kane is the best goal scorer. When it comes to the scoring goals, the amount of goals he scores, Harry Kane, he's on another level. But when it comes to their finishing ability, their eye for goal, and just the amount of ways they could finish a chance out of almost nothing, Erling Haaland is the best finisher in football, and I don't even think it's close. Because again, as great as Harry Kane is, I don't think he's pulling that off. That is absolutely ridiculous from Erling Haaland. Norway once again take a 2-goal lead. A lead they would hold on until around the 90th minute when once again Ismaila Sarr gave Senegal a little bit of hope in the end. He scored his second and it left Senegal a few minutes to try to get an equalizer. Unfortunately, they weren't able to do much after that as Norway escapes with a 3-2 win. With that win, it obviously secures them a spot in the knockout stages, and it also gives them the chance to win their group against France in their next game. That is going to be absolutely amazing, man. Mbappe against Haaland at the World Cup. Probably the most anticipated group stage game of this tournament, either that or the Brazil-Morocco game at the start. And not only is this game good just for that reason, but Norway in general are just on an absolute tear. This is a team that has lost just one game since October of 2024. They're just on an absolute tear at the moment. And it will be up to France to see if they can stop them in their last game. And as for Senegal, they're going to have to do some serious damage against Iraq. They're going to need probably 3 goals in that one to make up for their first 2 matches where they've fallen short. But yeah, just not the tournament I was expecting from them. I thought that they would be able to take it to Norway a lot more again with their previous World Cup experiences and just their overall success that they've experienced as of late. But that just hasn't been the case, man. Regardless of experience, Norway are just absolutely going for it. And one more thing I got to mention about Norway as well is their signature row that they do during the games. It's so good. It reminds me obviously a lot of when Iceland started to do the whole clap sequence. To see 10 years later, we're finally starting to see a new variation of that. I hope that what they do obviously inspires other teams and other things to do variations, not just the usual clapping, whatever. We've seen that before, right? For them to be that innovative and really take this to the level that it's been at the World Cup, you see the whole team doing it at the end of the game as well. It's just incredible to see, man. Norway back at this World Cup, and they're just really turning heads for their play on the pitch and their celebrations off the pitch. And now for the final game of the day, we go to Jordan against Algeria. Both teams obviously coming off a loss in their first group games. Algeria obviously falling to the might of Lionel Messi, and Jordan with a honestly great debut performance against Austria. There's a lot of good things that they could easily take away from that game. Again, Austria, very strong opponent, as Jordan once again, one of many World Cup debutants that's been turning heads. And they did so once again early in this one as they took the lead. Through Nizar Al-Rashid, a great strike from him, a historic moment for Jordan. I remember seeing the reactions of the coaching staff and the bench. They were just going absolutely nuts. And Jordan had a 1-0 lead again against all the odds. Algeria team that is very, very strong. From here on out, Jordan were trying desperately to see out this result, especially in the second half. Again, I was convinced, man. I was convinced, especially after what we saw from Cape Verde the other day, that Jordan would be able to get this done. Unfortunately, they finally fell as from a set piece, Nadir Bembouali stepped up for that one. Honestly, just a great setup there from Algeria. Finally, we get to see an old school set piece play. Not the stuff we usually see nowadays of grappling the opponent and hoping they make a mistake. This was just straight up, put the ball in a good spot, get it to a big man, and let them do the rest. However, I cannot say the same thing for the second set piece goal. That was more like the usual set piece stuff that we see nowadays. Just a bunch of traffic around the goal. Somehow it goes in. It ends up getting checked for a foul. Nothing's given. Algeria take the lead. Amin Gouiri, their target man, fires it in, and that is that. The game winner for Algeria. Again, a huge turnaround for them, a game that they really, really needed to win. And likewise, this sets up a huge match against Austria to determine that second spot for the group. And once again, Jordan, fair play to them. Even though they've obviously lost their opening two games, they obviously don't have a chance of getting to the next round, but they've really impressed, man. They took the lead in this one, had the lead for a lot of it as well. Obviously not able to keep it up. Algeria, way too strong in that aspect. And it was about time that they finally woke up anyway. Again, that Argentina game, just very uncharacteristic from them. They're obviously able to turn around big time today. Not like they really had much of a choice as far as doing that, but yeah, Austria-Algeria, that's going to be a really, really good one. I'm expecting a lot of goals in that one, hopefully. But that is going to be it for day 12 of the World Cup recap. We have one more day of the second round of group games before we go on to the gauntlet. 6 games in one day. That is going to be absolutely insane. Very much looking forward to that, as well as calculating all the different scenarios of all the third place teams and the knockout matchups. That's just going to be wild to get through throughout these next couple of days. But yeah, we obviously have the next day to look forward to, with Portugal looking to bounce back, England looking to continue on their great form that they had from their last game. All things and more at the World Cup. Once again, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for daily World Cup content as the race for the Golden Boot continues on. And don't forget about Harry Kane in that conversation. He's seeing the noise. He's seeing what they're doing. We'll see. Let's play football.